Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Podcast Period, the internet's stupidest podcast. My name is Ben, and I'm joined today by my co-host, David.
Hey, guys.
And nobody else. So, yeah, it's just another me and David episode this week. So, as far as the quality, I don't want to say quality of the episode. This episode may sound a little bit thrown together. There is a reason for that. We'll get into that a little bit later into the podcast, not like extremely later. I don't want to keep you into. Oh my God, I can't speak tonight. I don't want to keep you in suspense. Goodness. So we'll get into that. But first, I was listening to our last episode, and I mentioned that my friend Anthony ran something called Something Ghoulish. However, I never really got into what that was, and I felt bad about it. So I'm gonna kind of retroactively introduce him in this episode, seeing as how I can't go back and re-edit the episode that's already up and put it back up. But yeah, so Anthony runs a YouTube channel called Something Ghoulish. It's a horror-focused video essay channel. It's really well put together. I would recommend going to watch it if you haven't already. And he also has a companion podcast called Ghoulish Cast. And it's him and his friend Danielle. They've had a guest on every episode so far. So them and their guests just kind of talk about random horror focused topics, whatever is at hand in the news and whatnot. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's your retroactive introduction, Anthony. Sorry I neglected to do that the first time. I'm a terrible podcast host. But yeah. So anyway, let's get into why I said that this episode might sound a little bit thrown together. So David and I were going to go see this past Saturday. We're going to go see the Liam Neeson movie that's out, Cold Pursuit. It's been something that we tried to go watch before, but literally like the night that we were going to go watch it last time, I got sick, so it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. And then this time, the night of, like, not even an hour before we were supposed to actually go see the movie, I got into a car accident. It wasn't like a really bad one, but I had to stand out in the cold for like an hour, 25 degrees outside. Depending on where you're from in the United States, that may not seem like a big deal, but I grew up in Florida, and I've adjusted fairly well to the cold, but it was 25, and there was a bunch of wind, and I was not happy about the car not being, functional anymore, so... yeah. That's kind of why the episode may sound like it's a little bit thrown together haphazardly. It's because it is, but we still wanted to bring you something because even if there's only like 2 people listening, I enjoy making it, and I know David enjoys making it as well. So we just wanted to put it together and throw something out there and hope that people enjoy it.
Sounds like a plan. So forgive us if it's a little rambly or a little disorganized. Just what we planned on talking about obviously isn't happening. The movie was going to be a big part of it. Probably have a short review of it or something like that. It's something that I really, really wanted to go see. But at least anybody wondering, everything's okay. He's fine. Obviously, he's still here. So
the worst that happened was I may have gotten a little bit freezer burned, but that's it.
The weather here is not helping you in that case either.
No, it's not. But we are planning to go see Captain Marvel this Sunday. So that'll probably be a good portion of the next podcast. So, and we'll probably end up seeing Cold Pursuit on like Amazon or something. Yeah. So we'll talk about it eventually.
Yeah, definitely going to happen. We both want to see it. We'll figure it out at some point. It ain't no big deal.
So now on to the thrown together portion of this episode. Topic that I brought to the table is I wanted to talk with David, and maybe if you're listening to the podcast, you can throw down into the comments or tweet at us or whatever your opinions or your thoughts on it. Guilty pleasure media. I have a couple of things that I want to touch on, and I'm pretty sure David probably does too. But so yeah. Anyway, like I said, if you want to join the conversation or like air your secrets, feel free to tweet at the show or tweet at either of us, and all those details will be at the end of the show.
PG-13, guys. PG-13. We're not talking about anything else. So get your mind out the gutters.
We don't need any Ted Bundy references this episode.
Harvey Weinstein, you stay out.
That's right. So yeah, I would have to say, and I don't know if David necessarily knows this. I may have told you, I may have not. I don't know. My biggest guilty pleasure, probably out of anything, is rom-coms, romantic comedy movies. I couldn't tell you why. I don't know. None of the ones that I like are even like particularly great movies or anything, but I don't know. I enjoy them. They're sappy and romantic and blah blah blah. Feel good. So I don't know. That's me. Romantic comedies.
I mean, it's one of those things. I wouldn't have necessarily picked it out. It's nothing obvious. It's kind of a surprise. It would be a surprise to anybody else. It's kind of a surprise to me. We've been friends long enough that I've noticed that every once in a while he'll say he's watching a movie, and I'm like, really? You're watching that? He must. And it's always rom-coms that shock me. Anything else that he mentions is like, oh, I've seen that, or I haven't seen that, but that looked good, or whatever. And it's like, I don't know. I wonder. So I'm not shocked, but I wouldn't have necessarily pointed that out, or like on a friend, how well do you know your friend quiz or something like that.
Yeah.
I probably would have failed that one if that was the question.
Well, it's not something that I well, up until this point anyway, it's not something that I like broadcasted everywhere. So now anybody that looks me up on the internet is going to be like, oh, this guy likes rom-coms. What the heck is wrong with him? So yeah, that's probably my biggest guilty pleasure media sort of thing. I've got a couple other ones, but I'll let David embarrass himself now.
Well, the one that you know for sure is, and it's not really, it's music. I love like just opening up Pandora or something like that, or just anything else, and just like falling asleep to music. That's one of the things that I like to do. Uh-huh. But like, I guess the guilty pleasure thing would be like Food Network based stuff, cooking shows. I don't know why. but I've always loved cooking shows. Like
I have to.
Rachel Ray had 30-minute meals years ago. I literally would make popcorn, sit down and watch that show. So that's my guilty one.
I have to admit, I'm kind of with you there. I haven't like been watching like full episodes or anything, but recently, like all of these Kitchen Nightmare and Hotel Hell and whatnot.
Yep.
All
Gordon
that
Ramsay.
stuff has been popping up into my recommended feed on YouTube, and I've been watching like all of them. I even tried like watching an episode, and mind you, I don't mind watching the episodes, but the videos on YouTube just like they get straight to the point. There's no BS or anything. Like, you want to see Gordon Ramsay choke on some nasty food? There you go. You got like 10 minutes of it.
Or just flip the F out. Like,
yes.
One of the
What are you, an idiot sandwich?
Oh, that man. That man does not hold back.
No, he doesn't.
Reading some of his Twitter rants. Oh, God. Those are amazing. People will send at Gordon Ramsay snapshots of their food. Mm-hmm. And he'll critique it real quick. And it is the most savage responses from Gordon. It's amazing. It's like, God, this man's amazing. I've
seen a couple of those, like on Facebook or whatever, but I don't think I've seen anything particularly crazy.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I should probably like follow him on Twitter or something.
It's beautiful. And then real quick, getting back to the rom-com, just to add one to that. One of my favorites is definitely, it's got to be The American President. That one's got Michael Douglas and Annette Bening in it with Martin Sheen and also Michael J. Fox.
Annette Bening? Or Benning?
Benning, sorry, not Bening.
Yeah.
Benning. Obviously, I can't talk either. I don't know if I really have anything else. I mean, I've got interest on TV, like how it's made type stuff, like short little documentaries and stuff like that. But I wouldn't really call that a guilty pleasure. That's kind of normal stuff.
Yeah. Going back to the rom-com thing, I would say probably what sparked my interest in that is it's a movie called Walk to Remember. I don't know if you've seen it or if anybody listening has seen it, but it's I'm pretty sure it was based off of a Nicholas Sparks book. But the reason I got into it was because the entire soundtrack is composed of songs from a band that I used to like extremely enjoy. I still listen to them from time to time. They're not like my favorite band or anything anymore, but in high school it was like probably my favorite band, Switchfoot. They didn't necessarily like write songs for the movie, but their songs were featured in the movie. It was like the majority of the soundtrack and whatnot. But yeah, A Walk to Remember, I think that sparked like my... I watched it because it was cool to me that there was a movie that had my favorite band songs in it, and then I think it just spiraled out of control from there.
I did think of one more thing real quick. Something that most guys definitely would not ever admit. Probably don't even watch, but my mother and my grandmother both really loved the Golden Girls. And I actually really like it too. Just the wit, the humor, the comedy, some of the life lessons taught. They touched a lot of things, a lot of sensitive subjects in that show, with also a lot of dirty humor jokes strewn throughout. But that's definitely one of them too. Most people
Golden
would
Girls.
admit.
Okay, I'm pretty sure you've told me that before. Yeah.
I probably have. I've probably mentioned it.
Okay, so I've got two more, not really related to what I talked about before, or necessarily even to each other. But there's a movie that I really enjoyed that people have probably seen. I mean, it was a relatively big movie. I first saw it like in middle school. It was like on TV, so it wasn't even like the full movie that I saw. But it's called Deep Blue Sea. It's got LL Cool J and Samuel L. Jackson and a whole bunch of other people that you may or may not know. But it's like it's not a disaster movie. It's kind of a Jaws sort of movie. The main antagonist is a shark. Is what I'm trying to get at. It's the entire thing is based around like they're trying to cure Alzheimer's, and they somehow make the sharks super smart, and now they're trying to kill everybody on this like research vessel. It's a really, I don't know if I would call it a really good movie, but I enjoyed it. It's an interesting movie. I'll put it that way. I don't know. It's on Netflix, I'm pretty sure still. So if you haven't seen it, I'm
pretty sure I was meaning to watch that because we had talked about that one earlier, a couple of days ago, a week or so ago.
Yeah.
I think it was the last time we were playing a game or something. Or there was something on TV that I was commenting on. It was I think it was AMC was running different doomsday type movies.
Oh yeah.
And that's how that conversation started. Mm-hmm. I also like doomsday type movies a lot too. I was watching a bunch of those.
Those I haven't really seen a whole lot of. I need to watch at least some of them. But anyway, yeah. So Deep Blue Sea is probably my favorite. I don't even know if I would call it a bad movie because it's not. I don't find it terrible, but maybe it's like my favorite. I'm just gonna say it. It's my favorite bad movie. I don't know. It's nonsensical, but it's nonsensical in that amazing way that only a good bad movie can be. You know.
Yeah.
And then my other piece of guilty pleasure media. It's not even something that I do anymore, or that I play anymore. It was a video game called Spider-Man Friend or Foe. Not a particularly good game, but for whatever reason, I think maybe because I just found it extremely easy, I made it my goal to 100% like get all the achievements and everything, 100% mm-hmm. complete that game. Mm-hmm. I don't think I even understood it back then, but I definitely don't understand it now. Why I thought it was a good idea to play this like mediocre Spider-Man game all the way through multiple times to get all of the achievements mm-hmm. for no reason. I don't know. It was so bad.
I don't think I've ever tried. In fact, I know I've never tried. I have given it a run, not with the intention of completing a game. But I've at least tried to get as far as I can. There's some of them that I just know is not ever going to happen. Mm. Looking at you, Grand Theft Auto. But I don't think I've ever had one game that I knew was achievable at finishing the whole thing and actually wanted to do it. So kudos to you for trying to stick through it.
I'm pretty sure I did. I'd have to look it up, but I mean, I'm signed into the same Xbox account on this computer that I used to play through that game, so I could check after this recording. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, guilty pleasure media. I think that about covers at least everything that I wanted to talk about on this topic. Cause
yeah, I think I'm.
I mean, I had one big guilty pleasure thing and two smaller ones. I guess maybe I had less to talk about than I thought, but that's okay. It was still fun. Anyway.
Just airing out the dirty laundry.
Exactly, yeah. Now everybody knows all my deep, dark little secrets. Now everybody knows that I shouldn't complain whenever they put in a romantic comedy movie in a DVD player or something. There are some that I'll refuse to watch, but nothing springs to mind right now. Yeah, but I know there's some.
I have a very low tolerance to them. There are a select few that I'm good with, but I won't torture you with anything.
Anyway, so what did you want to talk about, David? What did you bring?
Oh, has anybody heard of Momo? I'm sure by now some of you have probably heard about Momo. So, for those of you who don't know, turns out this giant thing is nothing but a hoax. There's an actual statue, though, of Momo, or at least the character that they're making her out as to. But there's an actual real-life statue. I want to say it's a Japanese artist or something, or an Oriental artist of somewhere.
Yeah, it's a Japanese. Yeah, it's a Japanese artist.
I thought it was Japanese. I believe the statue is named Bird Woman. It's literally it's kind of a creepy looking head.
I've got the picture pulled up. It's very creepy.
Bulging eyes, a really deep V-shaped smile with really pronounced nostrils that are kind of low compared. Well, her nose is kind of low set compared to her eyes. Very large forehead. And then it goes down to a very slender and long neck. Broadens out just a little bit for shoulders. Has cleavage. And then literally looks like giant chicken legs for feet. Like, there's no other way of describing it. It's very ugly.
It's basically... the statue basically looks like what a bird would look like with human skin and boobs, basically. It's extremely unsettling.
Yeah.
Like, if you saw this thing standing in the corner of your room in the middle of the night, like you just woke up, a little groggy, and that thing was staring at you, you would not have to go to the bathroom in the morning.
I would have no problem admitting that I would probably relieve myself and scream like a little girl.
If I saw this thing in my room, I would run. Mm-hmm. I would be like, nope, I'm out. See you later.
Yep. Burn the house down on the way out. Goodbye. But anyway, so the reports in the news, at least for a while now, were apparently false at this point. Well, apparently nobody can do any research. That's it. That's a big problem in the media nowadays. Report first, research second. Mm-hmm. And it's getting to be a problem. Turns out it's a giant hoax. They were claiming that people were taking this Momo character, they were calling it the Momo Challenge, and inserting it and hijacking different kid-based YouTube programs and videos. I know Pepe Pig was supposedly one of them. Mm-hmm. Inserting this character into these videos and apparently instructing the children to commit some type of self-harm, whether it be suicide, I believe, was some of the false reportings.
Yeah, I think that's the majority.
I think that was the majority of it, but it was a small variety of things. Luckily, as they had this part right, there wasn't any official reports from police of any kind of people actually or children actually being hurt or hurting themselves or anything like that. So it didn't appear that anything was actually happening, but it was just a giant hoax. The whole thing is a hoax. None of this happened.
What it pretty much boils down to is some troll on the internet saying that this is a thing, and then actual parents getting involved, saying, like, being afraid, rightfully so, that this thing could exist. And it turns out that it's nothing. You know, I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm a parent. I'm not saying that these parents were unrightfully, like, worried about this thing.
No, absolutely not.
But at the same time, I don't know. You know, I don't know.
That's one of those things. Of course, my views may change. I'm not a parent. Hope to be at some point, but not a parent now. Don't want to be right now. I think things like this would probably enforce my thought, because my current thoughts right now, definitely limiting outright just banning social media access whatsoever for a child. Probably going to stay away from, like, tablets and other sources of media that allows you to get to YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just for stupid stuff like this. Like, go outside and play, get home by the time the streetlights turn on, like I had to as a child. You don't need a smartphone to entertain your 5-year-old child. I'm sorry.
No.
There's other things that can be done. Throw in a DVD that you know can't be hacked, or whatever the media is of the time.
And that's another reason why this got so big, is because you got, like, 4 and 5-year-olds having smartphones now. And according to the article that we have pulled up, it says that another version of this Momo challenge thing was that it's I don't know if, like, the account was supposed to be Momo, or if people were pretending to be Momo and sending pictures of Momo and the creepy messages and whatnot. But the article says, according to the lore, the Momo challenge is a viral game shared on messaging services like WhatsApp that goads young children into violence or even suicide. Images of the devilish bird lady supposedly pop up with creepy messages and commands that are set to escalate to extreme violence and horror. And that, it doesn't seem to me like that would be something that you'd have to worry about if you didn't give your 4 and 5-year-old an iPhone. You know?
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Which is why I say I reserve the right to change my mind in the future. But stuff like this reinforces my thinking right now. It's not going to happen. My child's not going to have a smartphone until at least the same age I had one, which was like 14, 16, something like that. It wasn't until high school, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And even then, it's going to be monitored.
I didn't have a smartphone until after high school. Trust me, all of my kids up until, like, maybe 16, they're going to be on the flip phone train.
Yep. In fact, when we first met, that's exactly what you had, too.
Yep.
I remember that.
I liked my little flip phone. It was nice.
Hey, there was absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No.
It got what we needed done.
Exactly. All you need to do is text and call.
Yeah.
Anything else you can do at home while you're supervised.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's I think that's the basic gist of this Momo challenge thing. Yeah. I don't really have any more feelings on it. It's a hoax, and stupid. I understand why people were afraid and outraged and whatnot.
Yeah, let this be clear. I'm not saying anybody deserved this. If you happen to be listening and you have a small child that has access to technology like this, I'm not shaming you by no means, and I'm not downplaying your fears. I totally understand. I legit thought this was a thing when they first started reporting it too. So, if you got scared and you felt your child's safety may have been at risk, I totally understand. I gotcha. I get it.
We're not parent bashing here. Definitely
absolutely
not. No.
not.
So yeah, that's the Momo challenge. I don't know. So I don't know. that's all. That's all I gotta say about it.
I mean, the whole thing's just stupid. So
yeah, that's Momo. We're not gonna talk about her ever again. But what we will talk about is the new stupid naming conventions for USB 3.
Oh, here we go. Thank you. Thank you.
So
USB standards for confusing.
Earlier this week, what is it? Is it the USB Foundation or whatever?
Yes. USB IF, I believe.
Okay. Either way, they introduced a new what is it, like 3 new standards for USB?
Yeah, it's USB IF, USB.org. So yes.
They're collectively called USB 3.2. I don't even know how to start with this other than it's absolutely ridiculous. They've got 60 different ways that you can look into this. Mm-hmm. So apparently all of the USB 3.2 is these new specifications plus all of the older ones, but now every USB 3 device is going to be under the USB 3.2 standard. So now there's 3 different USB 3.2 standards. There's USB 3.2 Gen 1, USB 3.2 Gen 2, and USB 3.2 Gen 2 times 2, or 2x2.
2x2, yeah.
And the marketing terms, respectively, for these 3 are Super Speed Plus, Enhanced Super Speed, and... wait, what? And Super Speed with a plus symbol. Wait, what?
Or in another way, that they did do another one. USB 3.2 Gen 1 Super Speed USB. 3.2 Gen 2 is Super Speed USB 10 gigabit per second. And then USB 3.2 Gen 2x2 is USB 20 Super Speed USB 20 gigabit a second. That's where they get the 2x2. It's 2 tens combined. How anybody is supposed to know this? I've known this for the last week, and I still can't remember which one is which. It's too confusing.
I have the article pulled up in front of me, and I still can't make heads or tails of what they're trying to do. It's so bad.
Why couldn't you just leave it alone?
I don't know.
Why?
So here's the full list of all of the USB standards. So there's USB 1.1, original USB from what is it, the 90s or something?
Yeah, something like that.
USB 2, still just regular USB 2.
Thank God.
USB 3.0, which turned into USB 3.1 Gen 1, which is now USB 3.2 Gen 1. Super Speed. USB 3.1 Gen 2 is now USB 3.2 Gen 2. Super Speed 10 gigabits per second.
Yep.
And then the only entirely new standard is USB 3.2 Gen 2x2. Super Speed 20 gigabits per second.
Total garbage nonsense. I'm not totally upset with USB 3.2 Gen 2x2. I think that could be better.
Yeah.
But I'm not upset with it. Why did you have to go rename USB 3.0 to 3.1 Gen 1 and now 3.2 Gen 1? Why couldn't you just leave it 3.0, 3.1, and 3.2?
I don't know.
That's simple.
It's so dumb.
As difficult as that sounds, that's putting it simply.
Yes. Although I neglected to mention, as of today, there's
here we
actually a USB 4. This isn't as confusing. This is actually really cool.
Yes.
So as of like 8 hours ago, at least as far as this article was written, some of you may know about Thunderbolt 3. It's a proprietary Intel connector that's been used on a whole bunch of like laptops and external graphics cards enclosures and a whole bunch of other things. Mm-hmm. So as of today, Intel made that standard royalty free, and it's now called USB 4, not USB 3.3
or
whatever.
4. Or 3 USB. No, let's get this right. It would be USB 3.2 Gen 3 Thunderbolt. They probably would drop the Thunderbolt because that was a
super speed
term,
Thunderbolt. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So what? I don't even know what they would call it. I'm surprised they were nice enough to call it 4.0.
Yeah, I know. So, it's not a Type A connector anymore, which obviously Thunderbolt 3 never was. It's a USB-C, and it's implementing all of the previous USB standards plus some display standards, which Thunderbolt already had integrated into it. It's got USB 2, USB 3, this new USB 4, PCIe DisplayPort, USB power delivery, and it's all enclosed in the Type-C connector.
One cable.
So yeah, you can run like a 4K 30 hertz display off of this one cable, plus charge your laptop, plus give it an Ethernet port. It's basically the power behind all of these MacBook dongles that you see out there now. Yeah. If you see anybody with a new MacBook, but yeah, I think it's really cool that they made this royalty free. It's extremely cool.
Yeah, it's about time that Intel released this. They've had their royalties on it long enough. It's getting to the point where things are trying to get thinner and thinner. People are trying to squeeze as much hardware and everything else into smaller and smaller chassis as they can. That I/O is kind of suffering a little bit in the laptop space. So it's good now that they're going to hopefully release this. Well, now that they are releasing this, hopefully it'll make its way to other things. And Apple, if you're listening, for the love of God and all that is holy in the world, get rid of your freaking lightning cables. Half their products are going to USB Type-C anyways. They've got multiple Apple products that already have Type-C.
That new iPad Pro is USB-C, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe it is.
Yeah, they need to.
So ditch the dang lightning cable, guys.
Yes, please.
It was great. Well, okay, the connector was great. The cord sucked. I've gone through multiple cords. From
the connector
iPad.
Was great when it came out, but it's time
had
to
its day. It's time to go.
Yeah.
USB-C is so much better.
USB-C is like it's way better than that is.
Yes, it is. Totally.
So yeah, Intel did something cool for once instead of being jerks to all of the consumers that are out there.
Mm-hmm. Amen to
for
that.
Once.
Alrighty. Speaking of Intel, let's talk about their biggest rival, or their only rival, if you want to be serious about things.
Pretty much.
And the reason that Intel has actually gotten off its butt and moved away from 4 cores, thank you, Jesus. AMD finally came out with wonderful new stuff. Ryzen is amazing, good value for the money, actually competitive for once. Thank you, AMD.
Mm-hmm.
But now that the Horizon is here, and we've all gotten a taste of what Ryzen can do, AMD is still having a little bit of trouble with their previous architectures, namely Bulldozer. So this article is from a little bit ago. It's like a whole, I think, 5-6 weeks now. But it's something I wanted to bring up. A judge allows a lawsuit over AMD's FX processors to continue. So there's a class action lawsuit that U.S. District Judge Haywood Gillum allowed to continue. And according to that lawsuit, which was filed back, I believe it's 2014 or 2015. It's around there. The U.S. consumers, and I'm sure consumers abroad, I don't know if this is an international lawsuit or if it's just for U.S. citizens. Class actions are kind of funny like that. They are disputing what AMD considered and labeled a core. So for those of you who don't know or aren't necessarily tech savvy, Intel's been basically, until 2017, the whole last 10 years, it's been 4-core CPUs for the mainstream, and then 4-core 8-thread hyper-threading, which is also an Intel trademark, for their higher-end consumer CPUs. AMD decided to challenge that a little bit and give the consumer an 8-core processor. But the problem that people have with this and the basis of this lawsuit, and whether or not it's actually got legal grounds or not, I don't know, because I'm not a lawyer and I don't know exactly how this is going to play out. People are challenging AMD's definition of a core here and claiming that these 8-core processors are not 8-core processors. They are actually somewhat similar to what Intel calls hyper-threading, and I believe the AMD term is simultaneous multi-threading.
Yeah.
They have 8 actual processing integer units doing integer math in the actual CPU. So it's 8 different tiny little brains doing 8 different calculations, or it can do up to 8 different calculations at any one given time across all these different things. And the traditional definition of that is it's its own self-contained unit that one core can do anything it wants to do. The whole thing could be run on 1, or it can be run on 8, or whatever the number may be. It doesn't matter. Nothing depends on anything else. It has its own little set of memory instructions and memory buffers, cache, and all that. And it does not have to share anything with anybody else. AMD kind of stretched that term a little bit, and they gave it 8 separate integer cores, but they end up sharing a floating point scheduler between them, and also end up sharing L2 cache. So now people are saying this is not actual 8 cores, this is somewhat of a hybrid, and they're basically claiming false marketing and false advertising, is what it all boils down to. So it's a case of he said, she said, and the consumers are mad now.
It seems... This is like, at least in my opinion, this is like a classic case of just grasping at straws, trying to get money from something that doesn't... It's so dumb. Like, I get that... I don't even know where to begin with this. Like, what difference does it make?
Well, if... According to them, it's claiming something that it's not. It's claiming performance that isn't there or something like that. And it's like they're not. Nobody's saying that what you're saying a core is and what they're saying a core is would have given you a different result. The results are the same, regardless of whether or not you agree on what the actual definition is. It's
I've-
not
I
like
don't
they
think-
faked results or something and skewed numbers.
Yeah.
It's all
don't-
there. It's just potato patata.
I don't think... If I were this judge, I would be like, there's no way to prove that there's any performance lost because they share this, floating point integer, or floating point scheduler and the L2 cache.
Yes.
There is no way to prove that if they each had their own separate L2 cache and their own floating point scheduler, that it would have made any difference in the performance of the CPU. So unless somebody's going to go out of their way to hack this thing together, then it doesn't really have any grounds, because there's no, as far as I'm aware, there's no actual definition for what a core is in a CPU.
And I'm guessing that's what is going to be that's the biggest thing that's going to be challenged in this. What is your definition of a core? Has anybody actually ever, in legal terms for legal precedents, established a rule? Is it a standard? Is it an open standard like USB that somebody can reference back to and say, this is what the specifications say, and if it doesn't follow this, then you cannot claim that it is that?
Mm-hmm. And I guarantee you that there's not anything like that.
I don't think so.
I mean, the only, at least the two major CPU manufacturers of today, they're not releasing their standards anytime soon.
No, absolutely not.
God forbid Intel ever will. I mean, AMD is extremely open source with most of their stuff, but I don't even think AMD is going to be like, yeah, sure, let's put all of our CPU architecture and whatnot out on the internet for everybody to see. No, that's not going to happen.
No, and that's one of those things. It's they launched way back in early 2010, 2011, early 2010s. So we're talking about a processor that was mediocre for its time. Anybody knew Intel was better. Mm-hmm. If you wanted performance, you should have gotten Intel. We're talking about products that are 6, 7, 8 years old, which in computer terms, if Intel hadn't sat around all this time, they'd be obsolete. And now they are, because AMD and both Intel smashed these poor things anyways. Mm-hmm. They're old technology. Why are we, like you said, why are we grasping straws here? It's old, outdated technology anyways.
Yeah, no.
So why are we complaining about it now?
It's dumb. I don't get it.
Move on.
Like I said, it just seems like they're trying to get money from this thing that nobody cares about. Nobody should care about.
Nobody should care about, and it perplexes me as to who or why they would supposedly want to do that.
It's only making news because people are laughing at them.
Exactly,
that's it.
Exactly. So I think that about beats the dead horse on that one.
Yeah.
Not really anything else to add to that.
So yeah. Now I want to bring up, David and I really enjoy playing, not necessarily Battle Royale games, but at least PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, what started this whole Battle Royale trend that's been happening over the past couple of years. Yeah. And I kind of want to talk about Battle Royale fatigue, like fatigue of the genre as a whole.
'Cause everybody's got to have it.
Yeah. You and I have played, I don't know, I want to say somewhere in the neighborhood of like maybe 6, 7 different Battle Royales. Some of which were better than others.
And some of which we really, really liked, but player base was not there to continue to try to play it. It's one of those things, if nobody's playing it, then, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, exactly. That's the unfortunate thing about a game with a small player base, especially one that relies on having a large player base, such as a Battle Royale. Like, I know. At least I don't know necessarily your opinion on it, but I know I really enjoyed Islands, or is it Islands of Nine or Isles of Nine? Either way, Islands of Nine. It's like a sci-fi battle royale game by a small studio of mostly ex-Halo developers, I'm pretty sure. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good, but the player base on that it's so abysmally small that it took forever to find a game, for one. And when you did, it was fun, and it was actually a really fast-paced battle royale. You weren't sitting around for like 20, 30 minutes doing nothing like you are in PUBG. But again, fast-paced, you get in the game and you die like maybe 5-10 minutes in, and then you gotta wait another 10-15 minutes just to get into another match, if that. If you don't give up before then.
Which is what we ended up doing.
Yeah,
didn't have
unfortunately.
time for it.
And then there was another one that we tried to play. What was that called? The underwater one.
Oh, jeez.
Either way, it was an interesting concept. I think we got into like one game when we tried to play one day, but again, small player base in a game that relies on having a large user base. It does not make for a good user experience. Yes, Last Tide. It was a fun game. It was an interesting concept, but it didn't really pan out as far as player base goes, which kind of made it a little bit annoying to try to sit through. And even some of the larger battle royales, like I know you and I don't enjoy Fortnite at all, even though that's like the biggest game. I don't know if it's the biggest game, the biggest battle royale anymore because of Apex Legends. That's something else we need to play. I really enjoyed playing
especially after I realized it was heavily based on. It's in the same universe as Titanfall.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I understand the want to get on a bandwagon, but at the same time, it seems like it seems like these developers are beating a dead horse, Like, there's good concepts to come out of it. Like, I've played Apex Legends. It's really good. I enjoyed playing it a lot. But David and I have tried time and time again to find a game that we both enjoy playing that isn't, like, extremely stressful or anything. That's in the same genre as PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, because we enjoy that game to a point. There's a point when we're both like we've had to take multiple breaks over the years from playing that game for months on end. I think a few months was the longest time that we stopped playing it because we were so annoyed at the game.
Yeah. That's definitely the longest hiatus. There's been a couple of maybe 1-2 weeks where we either A, didn't have time, or B, said nope, we're playing something else. But there was months there that we didn't play it. One of the things I'm worried about, I'll explain after you finish your thought. I don't want to cut you off.
I don't even remember where I was going with my thought. You can go ahead and keep going.
Okay, so one of the things that I'm worried about, I don't know how much of a precedent it sets, but continuing down, at least for Battle Royale, it's obviously player versus player, or at bare minimum, no, it is bare minimum, player versus player. multiplayer online game, what happens when the game dies out? They'll stop the servers, this and that. I'm worried about how much farther that's going to continue on, because if you keep doing games like that where the whole game is nothing but a multiplayer online game where it depends on that type of player base to actively be engaged in it to play anything, or the whole game, like PUBG, the game is nothing but that. There is no other option to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
How much farther does that go into and expand into the different genres of PC gaming and the future of PC gaming? Because I do not want to give up a single player experience in a lot of these games. Grand Theft Auto, I swear to God, if it ever went multiplayer only, I'd never play it, because I don't like multiplayer online right now. In Grand Theft Auto, give me the story all day long.
Not good.
But I don't like GTA Online. I never have, and I don't think I will, unless if they do make another one. Unless 6 proves differently. What's the point? Titanfall was a really, really good example of them, I think, making the right move, because the original one was just multiplayer online. Titanfall 2 had a story mode. Gears has multiple online modes, but it also has co-op or single-player story mode.
Mm-hmm.
But those games were before this massive Battle Royale expansion. How many games are upcoming that featured or have been released heavily multiplayer aspects, like Call of Duty? That one, at least... As far as I know, I haven't played the single player on that yet. There is a single player. I don't know how heavily.
I don't think there is a single player in this one.
Is there one or not?
I don't think so.
Oh,
not in 4. Not in Black Ops 4. No.
Okay, well there you go. That's a perfect example of what I'm worried about. How many more games are going to do that?
The next Battlefield, I don't think, has a story mode either, and it's getting a Battle Royale mode. Or the one that just came out, I should say.
So, you see my point there, then?
Yeah.
How far does that continue?
I think in order for this genre to survive past this massive popularity boom, it's going to be up to developers to not only increase, the playability of the game, but they also need to make it so that you can play when the servers are down. Give it some sort of offline mode where you can make a server locally on your computer and have other people join. That is the only way that it's going to survive. It's the reason a game like Minecraft, which, I mean, I have extreme amounts of fun with.
We haven't played that one.
And have. Yeah, I know. It's the reason that Minecraft lived well past what should have been its shelf life.
Yes.
Because you have, you can still play it by yourself, but you can also host servers with friends, and they have options with giant servers that you can go play with other people that you don't know. It's kind of the opposite effect, where if it stayed single player, it probably wouldn't have lasted as long.
Oh, absolutely.
But because they added multiplayer, it increased the shelf life. But like I said, they're going to need to add some sort of offline component for any of these to work. That's the only way I could ever foresee these lasting beyond this maybe 2-3 year Battle Royale craze that's going on.
Yeah. Because at some point, everybody's... It's either going to get to the point where everybody's sick of it, or it diversifies so much that, based on the fact that there's more options to play, and based on the fact that the genre itself is getting older, these individual games themselves are getting older, the player base will shrink.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some of them that are going to obviously outlast others, but none of them are going to be able to survive 5-6 years from now, if the base itself, if the genre itself is still alive and well, which I don't think it's going to die. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is definitely not going to be a thing in 5 years. If it is, I will be pleasantly surprised. I will eat my hat. But I do not give that game 5 years.
No,
whereas
I don't.
Grand Theft Auto was released way back in 2013, still has people buying the stupid thing and playing it.
Yeah,
online and single player.
What are they up to now? Like $50 bajillion sales or whatever?
It's ridiculous how much money they've made on that game.
It's disgusting, honestly. It is like actually disgusting how much money they made on that game.
Without being able to, because if they don't make money off of it, I've got no expectations that they keep the servers alive.
Yeah,
I realize you have to make money on a game. These servers aren't cheap. Whether it's your own equipment or you're renting it, it's not cheap. So I don't expect them to keep the servers alive for a game that's dead.
And here's the thing, like, the easier solution is always going to be, you know, the game, the publisher hosted servers, because you don't have to configure it or anything. But still, having an offline option would greatly increase the longevity of any game that it's put into.
Stupid.
So,
yeah. So battle royale fatigue. It's definitely going to be a thing if it's not already a thing. We have to take breaks from it. There's definitely other people that have probably given up on it entirely. New games will come out. It'll get a raise. Apex came out. It got a bump.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that continuing for much, much longer anyways.
No, probably not. Yeah, so I think that's where we're going to leave it. That's the show for this episode, guys. Thank you, David, for sitting down and recording this with me tonight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else left to say. Thank you guys for listening. We are up on iTunes now, officially, finally. Woohoo! So if you're listening on there, give us a 5-star rating. It really helps the show. If I do start seeing those pop up, I'll start reading them on the show. So yeah, that's what we'll open up the show with whenever we get one of those. If we get one of those, we may read the 1-star ratings too. Who knows? Anyway,
and give it, if there's something you want us to talk about, feel free to drop a comment or whatever, and give us some ideas.
If you're watching on YouTube, drop a comment. Otherwise, you can tweet at the show at podcast period. Or at either of us. I'm not going to say our Twitter handles out right now because that'll be at the end of the show too. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. Like I said, if you're wherever you're listening, please feel free to drop a rating, preferably a good one. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Podcast Period is produced and edited by me, Ben, and co-hosted by David. You can find the show on Twitter and Instagram at Podcast Period. You can find me on Twitter at Ben Plays Vidyas. That's Ben Plays VIDYAS. And you can find David on Twitter at Car6by16. Feel free to tweet at us or the show at any time. Podcast Period is bi-weekly on Wednesdays, so we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks for listening.